Why is Mercedes-Benz so popular in South Africa? It isn't just a car, it means something else. It's something people keep for life.
Anybody who wanted a quality car, so they would buy Mercedes.
So why has Mercedes become so deeply rooted in South Africa? The answer goes far beyond status. It's about history, industry, and something much more personal. It's a cultural icon. In 1990, Nelson Mandela's release after 27 years in jail marked the beginning of a new South Africa. Workers at the Mercedes plant there built him a car on their own time, a red S-Class. Today it stands in the Apartheid Museum in Johannesburg, a symbol of something far greater than engineering alone.
The key word here is that these cars are reliable. That's why people like them. The old Mercedes is in a league of its own.
Mercedes has always been a very good car to have around. There's the BMW, there's Audi, but at the front of them all, there's always been a Mercedes.
I love old diesel 123s. That's as simple as it gets. If that car doesn't start, either somebody has stolen your battery or your diesel's finished.
What made these cars special was how long they lasted, especially the W123 produced in South Africa. Mercedes-Benz also tasked the country with building engines.
The materials were all sourced and molded and casted just here in South Africa, here in East London. You hit the key once and it starts. Listen to the sound. That's it. Hence, I say these engines were meant to last.
The Mercedes car production plant is in East London, in the southeast of the country on the Indian Ocean coast. The factory is one of South Africa's most important automotive facilities. Founded in 1958, it boasts around 2,500 workers today. For years, it's been a major producer of the C-Class sedan for both right and left-hand drive markets, and given these cars a uniquely South African identity.
The W123 specifically, the South African built ones, and around 80,000 of them were built here, are seen to be of a better build quality than the German ones. We had a different spec level, and it's also very interesting how that spec level differed to the other ones, and they were generally higher spec level than what was offered as standard in Germany.
For enthusiasts like Kian Valkhoff, these cars represent something modern vehicles have lost. Known as the old Merc guy, he's been driving old Benzes since the late 1980s.
Our passion is old Mercedeses. We do 1975 to 1995 model works, predominantly spares, but we also have a history of selling cars and restoring cars. We've gone through that in the past, and we have a very big online platform on social media, YouTube and Facebook, and we have a huge worldwide community that follow us and that share the passion with us.
A community of Merc fans that now numbers in the hundreds of thousands.
If you have a W123, the local car club, the EPVCC, is having a W123 evening this Friday.
Kian is primarily focused on maintaining Mercs that were made in South Africa. He sources parts from across the country and exports them around the world.
This 190E, it's in quite an advanced state of stripping. We got it in probably about 2 months ago now, so the engine's gone, some of the body panels are gone. The interior is still very, very nice in here. You know, the seats aren't torn, door cards are still very good, so that's something that we will sell. You can have a look here, this piece has been cut out. So this was obviously a 201 with bad rust on top here around the boot. And a body shop will come here and buy this panel from us. We'll grind it out and he'll then weld it in. And that's a very nice, effective way of repairing it, because you can see the gauge of the metal in these old cars is a lot thicker than a modern car.
For some, this passion runs deeper. It becomes a family legacy.
I'm Bella Valkov and my business is Bell Benz and I restore old Mercs.
Her family mission? To preserve classic Mercedes-Benz vehicles that are older than Bella.
These are my two W123s, 1984 models, and I'll probably be selling that one when it's ready. My love for Mercedes started with my dad because he's always had them. So even when I was like really young, he'd drive me around in them. I'd be exposed to them. When I did my driver's license, I did it in a Mercedes W202, so a bit newer than this, but it was also a diesel. Here is my W126, still under the cover. It is a 1987 280 SE in pearl black. I bought this car about 2 months ago and I've just been slowly fixing it up. So this is the S-Class W126. They were available in South Africa up till 1993, which is longer than in other parts of the world. And yeah, this is the 280 SE engine. There was also a 300 SE, 380, 420, 500 and 560. So this is the smallest engine they came in, but it's also like the easiest to work on, I suppose. The least complicated one. Yeah. I really like how they look, how reliable they are. I like how easy the parts are to find. Even if we don't have them, I can still find them either around South Africa, or if you have to, you can get from Germany. I work with my dad selling the parts, and it's nice to be able to help people keep them going. I think these cars are gaining a lot of popularity these days with younger crowds. You see a lot of younger people driving them now. They're becoming cool.
And you can do what you want with them, like spinning, a South African motorsport that involves driving cars in circles at high speeds. For many spinners, the vehicle of choice is a domestically built Mercedes model. Other enthusiasts prefer to take long trips around Africa in a classic W123 sedan.
Cape to Cairo is just a bunch of guys who are madly in love with an African continent and its people. The best way to tell an African story is to involve a car with an original African DNA, which is the Mercedes-Benz, the W123.
We went to Zimbabwe, Malawi, Zambia, and then Tanzania and back. Okay. And then our next trip, we took them up to Angola via Botswana, Namibia, and back.
And they made these trips with their everyday cars, their tough and everlasting Mercs. For these owners, there's something truly special.
Behind me is a 280 TE W123, which is a petrol engine, which was manufactured in 1980, but registered in 1981. There are a few features on the car that stand out to everyone. Well, one being that it's a TE, which is a station wagon, and also the one of it having a sunroof as well.
These drivers love to go cruising in their classic Mercs, and they're not shy of showing them off. both on their own and as part of the group.
Whenever we drive these cars, people are fascinated by the beauty of the cars. But further, they are fascinated by how are we able to keep this engine running. But on these cars, you don't change the engine, you fix it because it's basic. Here it's a 200 carburetor engine, 4-gear speed manual. It was firstly produced in 1980 and registered in 1981. It has over 367,000 kilometers on the clock. This car in particular is my everyday drive.
What I love about this one is that it's a unique one, because it's a coupe. Most of these cars you get, they are sedan, and it's very reliable. It's my daily car since 2022. It's a 2.3 liter engine, 5-speed manual. Here in South Africa, we didn't get the 5-speed manual, but this one is an import from England.
The old Mercedes is in a league of its own. We are with people who understand and appreciate history, and they appreciate the value of looking after things.
Milton Nkosi drives a Mercedes-Benz 230.4, also called a W115. One of the carmaker's famous Stroke 8 sedans, it's powered by a straight 4 engine.
When you move the gear from park to reverse, the way the car positions itself, and you move to neutral and it goes back to neutral position, and you put drive, then it sinks down. It's ready to take off. It's beautiful. You know, I was born in the mid-60s, so I was very young when I started understanding the world of cars, and my dad used to have cars, and in fact he's the very guy who introduced me to the Mercedes-Benz brand. When I turn on my radio here, and when I switch off, small life pleasures.
Kian Valkov also shares this exacting love for detail, but he also knows every model's frequent trouble spots.
If you have a look at the W124, and this is the sort of car that I'd buy in for stripping. And I'd buy it in for stripping because it's no longer economically viable to repair safely. Mechanically it was fine, it was driving every day, there was no issue with that. But look at this. So the whole rust around the back window, even has a sunroof, which is optional here, but they aren't supposed to open like this, obviously. So it just gives you an idea of just how bad it is. Here, very commonplace on a 124 as well, particularly those with sunroofs. And the reason why is there's a water drain that runs down this A-pillar here. And if that channel underneath there isn't cleared periodically, it fills up with leaves, blocks it, and the water sits inside here and rusts away here. And obviously that's your A-pillar, that's the last place you want any rust to be. And in fact, if you have a look inside, you can see that pipe, that drain. So obviously that's been blocked somewhere or ruptured over there, and yeah, that's what's happened there. One of the cool things that Mercedes offered back in the 1980s as an option on these cars is something called a whackle-dackle. Well, as you go over a bump, nod its head, And it's so cool. There we go. Most of the 123s here had air conditioning. They had a different suspension. They had undercarriage protection. There was a lot of differences like that. Bumpers, for example, the bumpers that were standard on South African built W123s were only available on the 280s, the top of the range in other markets. But we had them across the range here. It was really just a different time, and the focus was different. The focus was on quality, and that stood the test of time. You know, by virtue of now, 40 years later, you can still get in those cars with 700,000 kilometers on it and use it on a daily basis. It's quite remarkable, really, and it's something that's universally appreciated.
These cars were certainly built to last, but in South Africa, they became something more. Not just machines, but an integral part of people's lives. Once a Mercedes driver, always a Mercedes driver, it seems, in South Africa.
What I like most about it, it's a good Sunday drive kind of car with, of course, the sunroof speaking directly to God.
Can't wait to watch more reports like this? Subscribe to our channel, DW Rev.